The car won't do the same thing twice. One lap it turns and the next lap it snaps. You brake the same way, yet you got different results. So you're told, just become more consistent. Don't touch the setup yet. Meanwhile, you fight the car every corner. I've built hundreds of car setups in different simulators, and I've been doing this full time. And in this video, I will break down 5 myths into car setup building that keeps a lot of drivers stuck longer than they should be. Let's go. Fast setups are always twitchy and oversteery. And the truth is that it's not necessarily twitchy, but it's unforgiving and really needs precise inputs. Ask this for every teammate of Max Verstappen in the Red Bull car. Big question is, do you want to be the teammate of Max Verstappen in the sim? You should only change the setup once you are a consistent driver. And this is completely out of context. What if you are a beginner or maybe a little bit advanced even, and you go into the sim, you pick a car and track combo and you spin, or you feel the car is dangerous, or you just lack confidence in and out of itself all the time. You'll quit. You don't like to drive it like that. It also becomes impossible to be consistent. And here you are saying someone, you first need to be consistent and then you can change the setup. No, you can definitely change setup when you're not consistent if you make a tweak, for instance, a little bit higher traction control, a little bit less rear ride height, maybe a little bit of a softer rear anti-roll bar. If that allows you to be consistent, then you can slowly undo those changes and then you'll actually learn it and sim racing becomes way more enjoyable. Because how does enjoyment then work? When you have a task that is too difficult, meaning aggressive and twitchy setups, you're gonna be in this area, you're gonna have a lot of anxiety in your driving. You constantly spin, lose control, whatever. But when it's very understeery, it's gonna be over here. So that's really boring, understeer boredom. So you want to have something here in between. You flow of enjoyment. And guess what? This is different for everyone. And the setup is a part where we can bring that setup to this part and we can actually enjoy driving. Setups only matter if you're chasing the aliens. Well, every driver is already on a setup, and setups are so much more than just chasing lap time. They can also allow you to change cars that are just bad out of the box. So for instance, some cars in Le Mans Ultimate have just horrible characteristics on a default setup. And the setup allows us to get rid of these characteristics. Not necessarily to get the best lap time ever, but to get a car that is actually enjoyable to drive. For instance, the Ford Mustang. Out of the box on the defaults, a lot of time I don't like how that car drives. So I did a lot of tweaks and changed like a lot of them, and now if you're a real Ford enthusiast, you can actually enjoy this car again. Maybe it's not gonna be the best lap time ever, but at least you can drive it again. If we take this learning model and we talk about like very fast setup, we can think about it like this. I like more stable understeering cars. I have friends of mine in my community that like more oversteery setups, yet we do the same lap times. If you have a driver tolerance and you are kind of getting setups that are really twitchy, then you lose the fun, and also vice versa. And I really believe the faster you are, the more it's gonna get to some sort of this end point. Okay, so yes, here will be the fastest setup maybe. If you cannot drive it, like what's the point? You're never gonna extract the lap time out of it. The setup only will matter if you're already getting here. But what about all of this area? What about that? That's my whole channel is about this, not this. And if you're liking this content this far, could you please hit that like button? That really helps me out. And check out the links in the description. I'm shared 5 free setups for Coda, for the Ford Mustang, for you to try. So they are spread out in levels. So you got a level 1 with low driver tolerance, maybe not so much lap time, and you can pick level 1, 2, 3, 4 and go all the way up here, and over here you're on your own, you know. But like if you progress, if you're a beginner and you're here, you can see a pattern in different levels. So I am very confident after thousands of hours of practice you will find your own setup over here. You need MoTeC data to build good setups. Maybe. But from all the building that I already did to this point, I got to the point where I got good baselines and then I spread them out to every track specific for my GT3 packs, and also did that for LMP2. And then I started running it through MoTeC, look at the histograms, or maybe look at different problems to see if the car was bottoming out, and look at especially the histograms. But there's quite a lot of examples where I saw that my histogram wasn't really lining up, and I thought to myself, oh, I need to fix this. By the way, a histogram is what shows the damper velocity, so how the tire is like following the track, and if you have that off, you basically lose out on grip. So you want to have a decent histo, so you know your tire contact will be optimized throughout the lap. This can be very track specific. Then I would create better histos, and then I got really twitchy cars, which I absolutely did not like to drive. So I was stuck in this loop with me trying to fix the perfect histogram and getting a car setup that just didn't make sense for my style of driving. So sure, you can use MoTeC to find like, I don't know, like problems in the car or actually measure what is happening, but like chasing histograms and get the optimal tire grip on the front tires could hurt you as well. So it's not always that you absolutely take that MoTeC as a religion. You really need to know what you're doing when you're changing the setup. I've seen this comment on a lot of discords, and it doesn't help anyone. Tips, just change the brake bias, or just do some ride heights, or whatever. I would ask this like 5 years ago, and then people, yeah, just do this, just do that. But there was never structure, and there was never an idea on a sort of a sequence or a system or whatever. It was just scattered advice, and the word depends would be named a lot. Like if I change ride height, do I get a better lap time? Well, it depends. If I change the wing, will I get faster on the straights? It depends. It would be like, oh, if I do soft springs, do I have more traction? It depends. And it would break my brain. That was really frustrating for me. So if you have that same frustration and you don't know where to start and you want to get into them, you want to watch this video, because that will show a structure. The first 2 steps in high wing, mid wing, setup building, so you can understand what ride height does and a system to exercise. And although it's a little bit of an older video, the principles very much hold up, and I would even claim you can take this system to every other simulator as well. Thanks for watching.